everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing explanations for the 47th hexagram in I-Ching called oppression. Based on the image of this hexagram, the upper trigram is lake and the inner trigram is water. So it has this image of water underneath the lake. It went underground, so the lake itself dried up. It simplifies that we're getting stuck, we're in a very hard situation that's lacking resources, lacking support, and it's very difficult to dig ourselves out of a trench. So when you experience this type of downtime in life, what should we do? That's the teaching of this hexagram. But the common human reactions is either complaints like, why am I the unlucky one, why me, or self-pity. But when you're at a disadvantaged stage, the more you complain, the more negative energy you will attract. And we should do the opposite. Should be quiet, stop complaining, kind of almost pull yourself out of the situation and look at it objectively. Don't make yourself the focal point and realize that it's common for anybody to go through the up and downs in life. It just happens to be the down point for you. And what should you do, right? Focus on building your inner character, growing your strength, so that when spring comes, when the right time comes, you're ready to revive, you're ready to evolve into a stronger version of yourself. It's almost like a tree going through bitter winter. You need to hold steady, hold still, and be unshaken by the hardship in your environment, and preserve your inner character and keep on growing it. So when spring and warmth come, you can revive and show off your liveliness. And each line of this hexagram is showing like in different types of hardship, what should we do and how should we cope with it. So the first line is actually a very unfortunate situation. It's at the very bottom of this water simplified risk triagram. So you're at the bottom of it, almost like you're walking at the deep valley of a canyon. It's all covered up. You cannot see any light, meaning you can't, there's kind of loss of hope. And you're getting stuck with a bunch of dried up branches on the road, and it's very hard to move forward. So you're being stuck, you're being trapped. In this case, and it's almost like lacking direction. I can see the light, I don't know where to go. So in that case, you're easily sinking into despair, and so gloom and gloom, and I'm losing hope. So what should you do? In this case, you're at the initial stage of oppression, exhaustion, not the right time, or not the kind of the right moment to take action or to get yourself out of the trap. The best advice in this case is to preserve your energy, stay still, being kind of almost like a hibernation mode to preserve your energy. And the main focus is survival versus doing anything else, because it's very hard to break through this despair situation on your own. It's just not the right time. The second line is fascinating. This is almost like that Maslow hierarchy of needs, saying that the bottom layer, wealth, resources are all there. You're actually very cushiony, wealthy. But the tip of that pyramid, your emotional, mental health is kind of being trapped. This actually fairly common in modern society. A lot of people feel trapped in their work, but it's very difficult for them to walk away from it because of the wealth support or the attraction of money rewards, right? So you feel mentally stifled, mentally trapped, is almost losing meaning, but you're being stuck by the material wealth, and it's hard to get yourself out of the situation. So in that case, what should we do? It's saying that not ready to move yet either. Being trapped in this case It's serving a purpose. It's making you mentally stronger. So don't rush into disturbing the status quo because that might incur a different set of hardship. Instead, keep the status quo, keep on being in your comfort zone. However, be very intentional in terms of focusing your emotional health. Um, Focus on faith, whatever religion or faith you believe in. Focus on that spiritual growth, and that will help you balancing the poverty of this emotional health versus the external appearance of a lot of financial and material wealth. It's more moving that spiritual side up by your own internal inward facing intention. The third line is actually the most misfortunate out of all in this hexagram. It has this image of it being stuck between like a hard rock and a bunch of thorny plants. There's nowhere to go. You're in total isolation without help or support. And even if you eventually get yourself out of it, you return home and you find out that nobody's home. You're alone. So it's a very desperate situation. It's even worse than the first one. So in this despair, again, your primary goal is just primitive survival mode. How do you get yourself, preserve your life, keep yourself steady without giving up, and knowing that this long, overdrawn journey eventually will be over. But the biggest risk for landing on this one is you might not even have the courage or tenacity to get yourself through this. You might just give up in the middle and become like a total ruin or failure. So this is a very misfortunate situation. Moving to the fourth line, this guy is fairly higher up, have some sort of a power, but it's in a misfitted place because it's a yang line in a yin position, and on top of it, you're paired with the yang line above you. So the same type of yang oppress each other, so you don't really get a lot of support. Because of this type of a misfitted position, this person has a lot of self-doubt. Like, should I go? Should I not go? It's like overthinking on everything and resulting in hesitation and lack of decisive decision. Because of that, you have a lot of slow progress. So in that process, you might incur a lot of disdain look from other people, like doubting your competency or not giving you the proper respect. You might incur a lot of emotional stress because of that hesitation. So that's a progress. But the end result will be you will get there eventually. You will achieve or get the help you need. But the process is quite painful because of your hesitation to move. So you're feeling trapped, like because the lack of support or respect from people surrounding you. The fifth one is a different type of trap and feeling stuck. Because the fifth line is supposed to be the king's position. This is a guy with ultimate power. But those people can sometimes feeling trapped too, feeling stuck without any support, or people are just against him. It's hard to carry on anything. So if you're the guy in power, your default mode is to fight back with strong powers. Like you force people to listen to you with a very overly hard style to kind of carry on your motive. But that will backfire. Too hard will easily break. Instead, it's teaching you the way of the water, like navigate the situation naturally, slow it down, be prepared, think, plan with some strategy ahead of time before you calmly and pleasantly interact with those people. That will be the better approach to get yourself out of the challenging situation. So it's about patiently restoring your authority and power versus forcefully pushing back. Last but not least, this is the ending stage of oppression, meaning that this is a time to move. All the ones prior to it is all about preservation, about survival, about learning, right? Learning your lesson during the hardship. But this is now the time to break free, to free yourself. How? It's the line description says you're kind of like those wavering vines climbing on the wall. By itself, it's very soft. It can't even grow and survive. It needs to rely on something. So you have this kind of a hesitation naturally, knowing that breaking free from this oppression is gonna be hard. It's so many changes and suck up of my energy. Should I do it? You're very like wavering back and forth, wishy-washy about the decision, but it's telling you that now is the time to force yourself to break free. Know that anticipate the journey will be hard, but don't get um, scared by that foreseeable challenge. Instead, use that foresight as your preparation. Know it'll be hard and still push for it and take action, because once you go through it, you will see the brightness. You finally will break free. It's encouraging you to move, but take preparation. Don't just rush into something. Anticipate hardship, anticipate, know what you're going to get yourself into, but also know that eventually it's for a positive reward. So that's the teaching of the 47th hexagram. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.